Have you ever spent, literally hours polishing your resume, making it absolutely perfect, only to get an automated rejection email just minutes after you hit send? It's so frustrating, right? It feels like all your hard work just got sucked into some digital black hole. Well, today, we're going to pry that black box open. We're going to figure out exactly how to beat the system.
Oh, this email. We've all gotten it. That cold, totally generic message that shows up in your inbox like a minute after you applied. It seriously feels like a robot just scanned your entire life's work and was like, nah. It's demoralizing, it feels unfair, and honestly, it's just the new reality of trying to get a job.
Because let's be honest, that's what this is. It's a war. It's you, with all of your amazing, unique experience, going up against an automated filter that's basically designed to find any tiny reason to kick you out of the running. But here's the good news. You can absolutely win this war. You just have to learn how the enemy thinks. Okay, so first things first, let's pull back the curtain a little bit. What is actually going on when your resume goes into that system? Is it some super smart, all-knowing AI judging your every move? Or is it something way, way simpler? So here's the first big secret you need to know. The myth, the story we all tell ourselves, is on the left. That some brilliant AI made this complex, nuanced decision about you. But the reality? It's on the right. It's much less exciting. You almost certainly weren't outsmarted by a genius robot. You probably just tripped a very, very simple wire. And that tripwire, it has a name. They're called knockout questions. These are those super simple yes or no questions you answer right at the beginning of an application. Their job isn't to figure out if you're a good fit. Their only job is to figure out instantly if you're a bad fit based on one or two absolute deal breakers. And here are some perfect examples. Questions about work sponsorship, a specific number of years of experience, a certain certification. If the recruiter just sets a basic rule, like if answer to SaaS sales experience is less than 3 years, then reject and you have 2.9 years, boom, you're out. That's not AI, that's just a simple if-then statement. But okay, what about the AI that does scan your resume? Well, a recent study uncovered something huge. Check this out. 92% of recruiters use those AI scores to prioritize candidates, not to automatically reject them. Only 8% use it for auto rejection. So the AI's job isn't to say no. Its job is to tell the human recruiter, hey, look at this person first. Your goal isn't just to pass the test. It's to get an A+, so you're at the very top of the pile. And this brings us to the really juicy stuff. If you need a high score, you have to understand how you're being graded. And believe me, some new research has completely flipped our understanding of what these systems are even capable of. What you're about to see is a total game changer. So let me ask you this. We're always told that these are semantic systems, right? That they understand meaning and context. So if you rephrase a key requirement from the job description, but use your own words to say the exact same thing, the AI should get it, right? It should understand you. Well, a research group called NetRun Systems got tired of guessing, so they put it to the test. They set up a really smart, controlled experiment to see how these so-called AI systems actually behave. And let me tell you, the results were pretty shocking. So here's what they did. As you can see, they made two different resumes. The first one, the JD-aligned resume, literally just copied and pasted the exact phrases from the job description, words like distributed systems at scale. The second one, the semantic resume, used a synonym, a phrase that means the exact same thing, like fault-tolerant distributed infrastructure. Any human expert would know they're identical. But what about the machine? The results were just staggering. Look at this. The resume that basically just parroted the job description got a pretty good score, 74.2%. But the resume that used synonyms to say the same thing, it only scored a 59%. That is a massive difference. A 15.2% penalty. Just let that sink in for a second. The system literally punished a perfectly good resume for not being a parrot. It punished a candidate for using a better vocabulary and showing they actually understand the concept. It's wild. And the Netrun report just summed it up so perfectly with this quote: "The algorithm is listening, but it is not understanding." So despite everything we hear about semantic search, the hard truth is that these systems are just playing a game of word matching. They're not understanding meaning. Okay, so now we know the truth. It's not a super smart AI, it's basically a dumb robot playing keyword bingo. So, what do we do about it? How do you create a resume that makes this robot happy, but still sounds good to the actual human who's going to read it later? Well, that brings us to the solution, the strategic density protocol.
The key insight from that whole study is that the algorithm doesn't treat all parts of your resume equally. It gives different sections different weights. And look at this table. The executive summary at the top gets the highest weight by far. The experience bullets are actually weighted lower. This is what we can use to our advantage. This gives us a super simple 3-step process. Step 1, pass 1, is keyword injection. You go through the job description, you pull out 15 to 20 key phrases. Step 2, pass 2, is strategic placement. You take the most important of those phrases and you stuff them into that high-weight executive summary section. And finally, step 3, pass 3, is density optimization. You weave the rest of the keywords naturally into your experience bullets, where you talk about your actual achievements. And the result of all this? When Netrun tested this new protocol, it scored a 73.7%. That's almost identical to the resume that just copied and pasted everything. But here's the kicker. The readability for a human was rated as high, so you get the best of both worlds. You get a high score to beat the robot, and you get a compelling story to actually win over the human.
But let's be real for a second. Beating the bot, that's just step 1, right? It gets your foot in the door. The real goal here isn't to pass a filter, it's to get a job. And sometimes the best way to win the game is to just not play at all. This right here is the ultimate cheat code. The absolute best way to beat the filter is to go around it. Instead of getting in that huge line at the front door with everyone else, you find a side entrance. And that means connecting with real people in smaller niche online communities where hiring managers are actually hanging out and looking for people. And this isn't just some vague advice. Here are some actual concrete places you can start, depending on your field. In these Slack groups and online forums, you can talk directly to the people making the hiring decisions. This is where the real unlisted opportunities are hiding. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. We've busted the myths, we've uncovered the shocking truth about how these systems really work, and we've laid out a clear plan of attack. So let's just boil this all down to a final 2-part strategy. Here is exactly what you need to remember. Part 1, for the machine, the job description is your cheat sheet. Use its exact words and load them into your summary. Part 2, for the human, keep your experience bullets real, authentic, and focused on what you actually accomplished. You have to write for both audiences. Always remember, the machine is just the gatekeeper, but it's a human being who decides to give you the job. Which leaves us with one last question to think about. In today's crazy job market, what's actually more important? Mastering the machine or mastering the art of connecting with the people who built it? The real answer is, you've got to be able to do both. Thanks for diving into this with me.